Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. Truck just went past 3 times. I mean, somebody's trying to be all up in my business. Got my back next to this tree, which is backs up to a big brush pile, so that the deer cannot come from behind me. I'm sitting on the ground. Pretty crunchy, leaves everywhere, but pretty much 270 degrees. I can see in front of me. If we see a deer, then it's going to be pretty close quarters, and I'm going to have to try to react really fast. So hopefully I can get it on camera. I've got this camera on me, and I've got this camera right here to try to get the deer, but you might be able to hear from some of the background sounds. We got cars going by at about, I don't know, 200-300 yards. I'm 10-15 yards inside the tree line. And yeah, we're up here incognito. We know there's deer on it. I brought the Seneca Dragon Claw. It's a 50 cal air powered PCP. And we're slinging these out of it. Broadheads on the end of an air bolt. But this thing flings these bolts faster than any compound, faster than any crossbow. And that's going to be about it for my talking. If you're seeing this, that means we got a deer, or saw some. That guy ain't got no muffler. Listen to this truck. That's how you know you're in the South. That truck was like almost brand new, and he had already cut the mufflers off. If that's not redneck, I don't know what is, but yeah, that's it. Sitting on the field edge, hoping we see a buck, and I'm just gonna sit here and be super still because I'm on the ground. Check back in with y'all in a minute. Alright, nothing yet. It's 3:15 in the afternoon. At this spot, I think if we see some deer, it's going to be right before dark. It is overcast, so that normally helps the deer come out a tad bit earlier, but no deer yet. Like I said, I'm 15-20 yards inside the tree line, and they're either going to come right in front of me in the woods to get out into this field, or they're going to be out in the field 30-40 yards away. So Dragon Claw is sighted in dead on at 20 yards, so we'll sit back and see what happens. Alright, so it's a little bit after 4 o'clock now. We're starting to come down to the wire. You can see we're losing some light, and we probably got, I don't know, we got a little while before shooting lights over, but if we're going to see something, it's going to be here in the next 30 minutes where we can pop it. Alright, so just got back. Hadn't even got out my clothes yet. But that's for a specific reason. So, normally I don't post anything of the catching deer footage unless we catch a deer. I just delete it, whatever. But, a couple things I got to tell the rest of the story. Right after that last little update, boom, I have one camera on this property, and guess what walks on that camera? Nice 8-point buck. 8-point buck, so good. It's like, man, that's almost unbelievable. I'm seeing that thing. Like, double check, woo! And it was about 80 yards behind me and to the left. I was debating on sitting two spots tonight, and I picked the wrong one. But right when I saw that, boom, 80 yards, I was like, you know what? I'm camoed out. There's quite a bit of background noise, a little bit windy. I think it's worth trying to make a sneak on them. Got the Dragon Claw in hand, and right as I'm about to get up, there's a fork buck, or a 2x2, depending on where you're from. There's a fork that was just deadlocked in on me at about 15 yards, coming down the path that I was going to go around and hook around and try to sneak up on this 8-pointer. and this fork buck was just locked in on me, 15 yards. Y'all that been locked in eye to eye with some deer, ground level. I'm on the ground now. They'll look up at you in the tree and do the same thing. Normally a doe will, and they'll do the head jive like this. This fork was doing that. Or they'll stomp their feet and look at you, try to get you to move. But if you're still enough and you're camouflaged enough, then they'll go on about their business. Well, that buck, fork buck now, 8-pointers back behind me. I'm trying to get the sneak on them, but this fork buck's locked in on me. You can't spook a deer because they'll scream, "Rah!" And that's telling all their buddies. 9 times out of 10, all the other deer will run too. So I didn't want to spook this little guy because that would 90% chance spook the big buck. But remember, guys, I'm sitting on the ground. I'm wearing this. I got my breeches on. I'll show you here in a second. This buck came right towards me. Did that head jive the whole time before I turned the camera on. And then I turned the camera on, and I'll show you this footage right here, where he just kind of bebopped and real slow for about 1-2 good minutes at 10 yards. And he would stop, look right at me, see if I would move, and then kept going and never spooked, and did about a 270-degree circle around me, just bebopping. So that's a testament to you can still hunt on the ground. You got good camo and you don't move. So deer key in on movement. But this right here, I've been wearing True Timber for 3 years now. True Timber camo. This is the Strata pattern. I actually double dipped tonight. I was in a hurry flying out the door. This is the True Timber Takari. You can see it in this print right here. XRC. This Takari line is the True Timber camo that you can get at your Walmart. But you can see it's close to the same pattern. But again, I was in a hurry and I was double dipping. It's 66 degrees tonight. So lightweight top, lightweight bottom, early season bow season, even though it's the middle of December. This Strata hoodie top, I call it my ninja top. This is one of my favorite pieces of camouflage. This is how I was sitting, like this. And I take this and I kind of tuck it right there. This is how I was sitting. You can see my eyeballs. I can perfectly see. And that whole time I was on that field edge, I'm just scanning like this. I'm scanning. And unfortunately, that 8-pointer didn't come down the way I hoped he had. He'd come up behind me, the 50-50 chance, you know. But all that being said, that's a testament to having good camo and to being still. And hey, you can absolutely chase deers from the ground. You don't have to have these big fancy blinds, big fancy stands and all this jazz. It helps, especially if you got kids or, you know, all that stuff. But sitting on the ground, I had a deer at 10 yards tonight for good 10 to 15 yards for good 5 minutes. Never knew I was there. He was a little slightly suspicious, you know. Never knew I was there. So good camo and don't move. You can absolutely catch deer from the ground. Bummer, we didn't get anything with the Dragon Claw. We've got videos catching turkeys with this thing. But hey, if you need anything air powered or a Dragon Claw 50 caliber PCP rifle piques your interest, we get all our air powered stuff from Pyramid. Y'all definitely go check out Pyramid. They're good folks over there. But hey, appreciate y'all watching. Good camo, be still. You can catch a deer. We were about 40 yards from popping one of the biggest whitetail I've ever taken on this spot. So I'm probably going to put some time in. Might sneak out there tomorrow and the day after. But yeah, that's a whole lot of rambling. Yeah. True Timber Camo is what I wear. I've been wearing it 3 years. It's good stuff, and it's not expensive. Appreciate you. Comment down below if y'all are doing some middle season, late season deer catching too. I got a whole bunch more. We got over a whole nother month of deer catching where I'm at. So stay tuned for a whole bunch more videos. I love chasing the deers. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one. I could have got that fork. I could have got him. That was a legal buck. And I got 2 buck tags. Believe me, it was tempting. Especially to get the footage, taking the deer with the drain claw. I really wanted to. But yeah, I just made the decision not to. If that 8-pointer, I'm here to tell you, if that 8-pointer wasn't nearby and that fork was all I saw, I probably would have took him. I'm not going to lie. But I didn't want to spook that big buck, and maybe he'll hang around, bed down, and we'll catch him tomorrow. I don't know. But now I'm rambling. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Well, I can talk about catching deers all day long and all night. Ask my wife. She'll tell you. But hey, appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one. Hooty-hoo.